Forgive me, but... Well, that was fun. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often with the guitar, and they call me on the phone and they say, hey, man, what's your show about anyway? So, it's about an hour. It's about guitar players, guitar playing, and all things guitaristic. Guitars, basically. It's a guitar show. Would you talk about related topics like the guitarron, the guitarra, the sitar, chitoles, luz, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bazookies, bajos, sextos, tiples, and cavaquinhos, ukuleles, and banjolales, and banjolins, and mandoras, and mandolas, and mandolins, pipe organs, piccolos, accordions, ocarinas, trombones, tromborinas, saxophones, and sackbuts,
xylophones and zithers.
Xylophones, yeah. Dobros, dulcimers, and didgeridoos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sax and violins on TV.
That's right. Yeah. We'll even talk about violas if you want to. Harmoniums and harmonicas, harpsichords, clarinets and clavinets, and clavinovas, clavichords, of course, clavecin. Basically, bull fiddles and which is my favorite.
Bagpipes and concertinas.
That's right. You know when the bagpiper asked if they had any requests, he'd say, "Yeah, play Over the Hills and Far Away." Anyway, that's an old one. But anyway, yeah. So we could talk about politics, world events, your own personality problems too, if you want to, in the show. But basically, we keep it clean. It's a family program. All right. So a couple months ago, I thought that my guitar acquisition syndrome, which we also refer to as GAS, was in remission. And, I could, worst came to worst, I could always interview Donna, couldn't I? Never mind. That's not even worse. That would be an honor. Anyway.
We dragged her in last time she came in.
Did we? No, we didn't interview her, though.
Oh, no, we just had her come out and announce something she was doing.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Anyway, and Mr. Skopinski just showed up. Okay. Where was I anyway? I was in my preamble. But anyway, my guitar acquisition syndrome. They call it GAS.
Yes.
And this is this terrible problem. It's not as bad as some things, though it's not illegal yet. And people don't typically steal lawnmowers or something to afford their habit. And maybe some of them do. I don't know. It's not toxic as far as I can tell. You might get a little calluses in your fingertips, but it's not as bad as other things people become obsessed with. And anyway, so I thought I was in remission. Apparently I'm not. And I did acquire a guitar
You fell off the wagon this week.
Yeah, well, yeah, I acquired this one. I went to, I'll tell the story, but I acquired that one, which is a very interesting guitar. But the other thing is, I've had some other guitars that I'm not sure if I ever want to play again, and I was going to make a deal at actually West Music. But the manager is on a week-long vacation thing on the road with some of his buddies. We'll see what kind of shape he comes back in. But so I wasn't able to do it, but the guy behind the counter let me take this one, and I'm thinking of acquiring this thing here. And this is a Guild T-Bird. And it's this fancy blue color. It has two P90s, but it's actually pretty quiet in this room. Not in my house, everything's noisy, but it's actually pretty good. And I don't want to want this guitar. I don't want to have to get this guitar, but every time I pick it up, I think, oh yeah, this is nice. It's got a big axe handle of a neck. Now, people don't like that, but I'm a classical guitarist going astray. So anyway, I have this thing. This is not my guitar.
Well, and we know you have a 12-string, so.
I have several 12 strings. I have fallen off the wagon a little bit lately, and the full extent of that might become a. You should stay tuned, and you'll see. I've also gotten rid of a few instruments, but anyway, I have some different things. But anyway, so this thing is actually a very interesting guitar. It's I have it through a Vox AC10 with the gain turned up pretty low and the volume not quite at medium, and a little bit of reverb. So this is pretty clean. nice guitar. It's two B90s. Now, if I do it into a single pickup mode,
There's the buzz.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's a Cheech and Chong record or something. There's the refrain, Dave's not here. I was going to interview a guy. As some may know, that we have a new feature in Tom's Guitar Show. We interview people.
I believe our staff is going to go find a guest.
Well, yeah, there's always Julieta. She's going to go off and have interesting things. I talked to a guy who fixes guitars and musical instruments. I was fearful that he might not be here, for the show. He might not make it. And so I started thinking, wow, what are we going to do if Dave's not here? And I think I know what that'll be. So what we're probably going to have to do is, so I'm going to have to go into Studio B briefly. So what I'm going to have to do is put the camera on exclusively on Bob, so that Bob can tell us.
I thought we were going to be upstairs tonight, so I brought along a couple observations.
Yeah. So switch over to that, will you please, on the whole screen? There we go.
People who were giving advice to graduates, since so many people were graduating last week. Parents, you will spend more money framing your child's diploma than they will earn in the next 6 months. It's rough out there, so be patient. The only people hiring right now are fast food places and Mexican drug cartels.
Yeah.
If you majored in fine arts or philosophy, you have good reason to be worried. The only place you're really qualified to get a job is in ancient Greece.
That's pretty good.
You've paid a lot to go to school. Now the Alumni Association will contact you and ask you to pay a lot to have gone to school.
Mm-hmm. I know that one. All right.
Are we ready on Studio B
I
now?
suppose we're ready. I'm in Studio B. I'm well settled in. So.
Oh, I guess we need to get a camera on you.
There should be a camera on me. There I am. Look at that. Ah. Hey, my black is fading into the black. So, this is. I call you Julieta. Is that good, or should I call you? What should I call?
Yeah, that's fine.
Julieta with another ch in there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know people call you Julieta.
Yeah.
What did they call you in high school? Lots of things, probably, but.
Yeah. Julieta.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or
Well,
JJ. I don't know.
JJ, okay. I didn't know that about you. Anyway, well, now I know I wanted to talk to a guy named Dave, and he didn't show up, and I was afraid he wouldn't because he's a guitar player. And so, and I don't want you to feel like you're, not important.
I'm just the replacement.
You are you are the successful substitute and everything like that. But anyway, you have an interesting story to tell because you're going to leave, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah, but you said you were going to come back.
Yes.
Should we believe you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us, where are you going?
I'm going to Italy for 2 months.
2 months in Italy.
Yes.
What do you plan to do when you get there?
Well, I will be an au pair, so I will be taking care of 2 kids. One is 10 and one is 7 years old.
Little Italians.
Yes, little Italians.
Yeah, okay.
Do you speak Italian?
I can understand it more than I can speak it, but yeah, tiny bit.
Porco cane. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I met a waiter in Austria one time who said he spoke restaurant Italian. He'd worked as a waiter in Italy too, and part of Austria he lived in was very close to Italy, so
Yeah.
he didn't speak all of Italian, but he spoke restaurant Italian.
Well, it's all you need.
It's like nail salon English with the nail salons are all
Vietnamese
Vietnamese.
girls,
Yeah, so if I get beyond, because I have fake nails for guitar, so I have special needs, only in one hand. And so the language barrier is usually significant, and they speak, certain. But you'll be fine because you speak Spanish, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know a guy, actually, I'm getting off this subject, but I have a guy, one of my students at Co. And he's sort of borderline Mexican. And because he's like from the border. And so
Yeah.
his parents lived he would sleep at night, and on the Mexican side would take a bus to high school in Texas
Oh.
every day. So he's a borderline case. So he was very familiar with English and of course very familiar with Spanish. But he has an Italian girlfriend from Italy in college, and like they can communicate. I've known like people who speak Spanish and Italian who can communicate pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And so your Italian will be much better.
I hope so.
If you ever want to know how to swear, you just let me know because I'm good at that many times.
And all those Texans can say cerveza por favor.
That's right. Well, that's right. Anyway. So yeah, you're gonna be au pair for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Was this like set up somehow? And did you join a service, or did you have a friend? What stuff? I'm trying. Sorry.
Well, I've been to Spain and Ireland, and that was in 2016 and 2015. So I wanted to go back to Europe again this year because I want to do it every year. Well, go to Europe every year, not be an au pair every year. And I don't have a lot of money, and I knew my parents wouldn't just pay for everything. So I looked at alternative ways to travel on a budget, and I found out what an au pair is, and I thought it was interesting because I like kids, and I think it's way better than just traveling as a tourist because you're actually involved in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pretty much like what Americans call a nanny, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Au pair is French for nanny. So anyway.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds-
I thought it was interesting.
And what town are you going to? You said I forget.
Biela.
Pieda.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I've ever been there, but you say it's the north somewhere. So.
Oh, yeah. I've never been to Italy, so.
Yeah, you've been to the Tuscan Moon.
That's right. I've been there. I go there every week, but I've been to Italy a couple times. It's a very beautiful place. It's very interesting to me. I think I find their culture and their language, and of course a lot of their contributions to music and stuff over the centuries. I take a broad view, but
Yeah.
I have an Italian mandolin from Napoli. But anyway, yeah. So that'll be fun. That's great.
Yeah.
I'd like to go instead, but I guess I have to stay here and do the guitar thing. So you are the programmer here. That's your position, right? Is that what they call it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you make sure all the TV shows get on the TV.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're like good with the computer and everything like that. So that's your
Yeah, kind of.
good enough then, hey?
Yes,
Right.
good enough.
Is there a next programmer in back there that will keep things going while you're gone?
Yeah, James, he used to be here. He trained me.
James has been here on and off for since he was a mere stripling.
Tadpole?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, since he was a pup. Well, I wish you the best. I hope you have a
Thank
good
you.
time. I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun, and
Yeah,
I think
I'm
you might like it a
excited.
little. And you can get some Italian down. You probably learn quite a bit of Italian.
Yeah.
And but with your Spanish, you should be able to like figure it out,
Yeah.
and then you can teach the kids Spanish.
Yes.
But the kind of Spanish you speak is probably like the Mexican style, so it's a little different from the.
Yeah.
When you were in Spain, was it different? Quite a bit.
I mean,
The accents.
not really. The accent and some words, but. No.
Yeah. Okay. Because I can hear. I can understand some Spanish. I don't speak it, but I hear the Spanish people and then Mexicans and then like Argentines, and it sounds very different to me what they're saying. But
Yeah.
of course, Argentina has a lot of Italian in it, but they have different ways of saying things. But anyway, all right. My thing is that because French is the language I grew up with, so I like the people from France, like especially like Paris, and the people from Quebec, and and like Montreal, but especially the backwoods, they have a completely different. It's like Alabama and London, or like some posh Cambridge,
Yeah, well, in England, they've got a different accent about every 30 miles.
Basically, yeah. But here, like the BBC English,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody from
Right.
some little town in the hills up in Arkansas or something. It's like the accent's really different, and the French tend to make fun of the Quebecois. But anyway, I guess you had to be there. We don't make fun of anybody around here, right?
No, never.
Yeah. Okay.
We let them all know in Iowa we speak proper English. Everywhere else is wrong.
Yeah. That's right.
Y'all ain't right.
Yeah. That's like everybody who doesn't drive like me drives wrong. That's what I figure. So,
I was in Boston one time, and a woman said, "You're from down south, aren't you?" I said, "No. Why would you say that?" And she said, "The way you roll your eyes."
yeah. There's a joke that I'll tell you after the show's over about about the R. And,
This is a family show.
That's right. It's just vulgar. It's not. Never mind. Yeah, we keep this clean because it's a family show. But you knew that about this, I suppose. Did you?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck. You say 2 months. You'll be back in like August or something, right?
Yes, August 2nd.
And then you're gonna go back to the salt mine behind the counter there.
Yeah,
and do the
I'll be
program.
back on the grind.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, you have a good time, right?
Yeah,
I think
I
it sounds like
will.
fun. Yeah. Up there in
I'll
north.
have lots of fun.
Okay. Well, could you switch over to Bob? Because I'm gonna leave and go to Studio A.
We'll see if I have another observation in the meantime. Another one about the graduates. Everyone knows what BS is. MS is more of the same, and PhD is piled higher and deeper.
Higher and deeper. Yes. I know that well, but my son earned 2 BSs not long ago.
And
but
you're back in Studio A?
I'm back in Studio A, so I soon will switch over to another guitar. So speaking of Quebec, I am going to go in about a half a minute. Maybe I should have done it already, but I want to get the other guitar. So I'm starting to think maybe I should have this guitar, and add to my collection. What do you think?
I am not surprised.
Uh-huh. I'm not looking to you for absolution.
You could not knock me over with a feather.
That's right. Okay. Well, I probably couldn't if I tried, but still, I would never try that. But anyway, well, I mean, I have this thing of bright colored guitars with unusual shapes. Like I have my Lamborghini Yellow Flying V, and then I have another one which is like what's it called? Hailfire, a Diamond DBZ Diamond Hailfire guitar, which is the same kind of unusual shape, except the big part's over here instead of over here, and it's bright red with a spalted maple stripe down the middle, and has 2 humbuckers. So I was thinking, well, I've already got that guitar, so I don't need this one. But I think this would look pretty good with that one and the Flying V hanging up from that.
Besides that, there is no guitar you don't need.
Well, there are a few. I mean, especially really cheap ones. But this one actually is quite. I think it's really pretty. Anyway, so I could just have to make a deal on it. I'm thinking about selling a couple of things and then getting this, and I pay it off in 30 days, and then I'd have one more guitar. Or I could do something else with my life. I could start collecting stamps. Bottle caps. I could collect bottle caps.
Guitars are your life.
Yeah, I don't care about bottle caps that much.
You're Guitar Tom. You don't want to be Bottle Cap Tom.
No. Guitar is embarrassing enough, but bottle caps, that's probably somebody out there watching saying, I'm a bottle cap collector. My father was before me and my grandfather before him.
Even worse, you would be stamps, Tom.
Stamps, yeah.
Well, if there really is, I'm sure our director will put the address up on the screen and they can tweet into us about it.
That's right.
That's true.
Well, I have nothing against bottle cap collectors. My brother did it for a while. I think he gave that up, though, when he was about 12. And so that was a long time ago. But yeah, I used to like to collect matchbooks because back in the old days when everybody smoked all the time, they had matches everywhere. And you could get they had the printing of whatever hotel or whatever they came from, or restaurant. And I used to collect those when I was a kid, but...
And coin collectors, once upon a time, even without their face value, coins were made out of silver or copper and had some actual value, but
Yeah.
now they're all made out of zinc.
Yeah. Well, there was some place where they were telling people to be aware of these gold coin sales because what
Yeah.
they were was gold-plated zinc or whatever, and you would put your money in gold, and it turned out to be, of course, it's an old scam, But all right, well, anyway, so here it is. Nice guitar, but this is not my guitar. I will turn this down and change partners.
Anyway, to get off the subject again, I see now even the zinc pennies are worth more than a penny.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ah.
the zinc in a new penny is worth more than a penny.
They need plastic ones.
Yeah.
That's what we need in the
Well,
environment.
they're talking about discontinuing the penny.
Yeah. Well, other countries have done such things, and speaking of Italians,
Yeah.
with the lira, they one of those things. The lira, some of these currencies used to be like like a dollar or whatever, but then they would have issues like after a war or something like that, and then they would continue to devalue the currency, so they just put more
Right.
zeros, and then they call it, because when I was a kid, there was the old francs and the new francs.
Yeah.
And so an old franc would become a centime, which is like their version of a penny. And the rate of exchange used to be a franc was about worth 20 cents to 25 cents in American. So a centime would be, a quarter of a cent, or a fifth of a cent. And anyway,
The Austrians had, I think the groschen was a coin that was so almost worthless. It's hardly worth picking up.
right. Well,
Of course, they're all in euros now.
yeah, I used to have these old francs, like a 50 franc piece made out of aluminum. Then it was an old, an old coin, and that was 5 centimes, which means it is actually a pretty good, big sized coin, but it would be worth 5 centimes, which would be about a penny. So
I saw some African country that was printing $1 million bills.
Zimbabwe.
And a beer cost about $1.5 million.
yeah.
No, copper's still worth more than zinc, but zinc is worth more than a penny.
I do.
Oops, I got the wrong one.
Yeah.
I do know that pre-World War II, in Germany, they would use the German Deutschmarks as firewood because it was worth more as
The wood was-
firewood than it was as actual
Yeah.
currency.
Well, during the Weimar Republic, and I was just listening. I've known this forever, but
Over the mic.
see, maybe they can probably anyway.
Oh, you have a mic over there.
Here we go. So, but in the Weimar Republic, the thing was, and this is how Hitler rose to power because of the instability of the currency. But there was somebody who was paid like a wheelbarrow full of money to be a soloist, to play a concert. And then but then as he waited like a couple of hours or something, and then he wanted to buy a sausage because he was hungry, 2 sausages, and that was his entire wheelbarrow full of money to buy basically a couple of hot dogs. And that was something about the instability because your savings be wiped out. But one advantage to that was that World War I cost them a whole lot of money, but then they paid off their massive war debt with like pocket change. But anyway, and then it was great for the Nazis. Anyway, all right. So this here, and I forget what I should have brought the name of it. It's a Montreal. So this is a Godin, which they call Godin, but it's pronounced Godin.
Must be French.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say Godin because you can go like end, but you just go and you don't pronounce the N at the end. So, and Godin. Anybody could say it. Bob, you're from Peoria.
Yes.
Say Godin.
Godin?
Yeah, but don't pronounce the N, just go Godin.
Godin?
Yeah. See? Bob can do it, he's from Peoria. We expect no less. All right, so this is a twin. I forgot. I should have looked it up. Maybe it says on the inside here. I can't see that. Anyway, so it has 2 humbuckers, and it also has a bridge that's a piezo. This is not unusual. I have another guitar that's the same thing, which is kind of a cool guitar. I'll probably bring on the show again. Big black hollow body made by Dean, but. What it has is right here you have this here knob that turns up the piezo, and then of course you have this 5-position switch for 2 pickups, and there's a reason for that. So basically, what I have here is I have everything's on. the two pickups and the bridge pickup. I get this shimmering sound. Okay, the story is I've been thinking about getting this great big white D'Angelico guitar, which is not a real D'Angelico. It was made by one builder in New York and probably cost you like $15,000-$20,000 if you could find an old one, if you're lucky. I was going to get one of the ones that looks really pretty. It was made in Indonesia, and I was thinking about it. I was just going to go up. Went up there to the Guitar Center. This is up north in the northern reaches of Cedar Rapids. In fact, I'm convinced you can see Marion from their loading dock out back. But anyway, right there in the corner of First Avenue and Collins Road. So anyway, I went up there for innocently, and last week, and I was going to just think about a couple of guitars I was thinking about maybe getting someday. And I looked at the used guitar rack on the wall, and I saw this. I immediately recognized what it is and its quality. So I had the guy climb up there on a ladder and reach it down for me, and plugged it in. I thought, wow, I don't have any money, and I don't have this kind of money, and you know, I don't have enough to lay it away. I don't know. And then I didn't have my gear card on me. Because my other story is I'm tired of sitting on my wallet, so now I've got this little thing, you see, that I put in my pocket as a wallet. You see, just this little thing that has a little bit of money and my ID and stuff in it. So I didn't have my gear card in there.
I don't know what a big gear card is. I don't know if our
It's just
audience
it's a
does.
credit card, but it's a store credit card.
Oh.
It's called the Gear Card from Guitar Center. Anyway, so I couldn't. I was going to buy it, but I realized I didn't have my gear card with me, so I went home, drove all the way back home, and then I thought about it, and then I went up there, made a special trip on Friday. I think it was Friday, and I bought it with my gear card. I've got 6 months to pay this thing off. And it's a 2009 model. I looked up the serial number on it. And so it's like, there's this big shimmering tone. Okay, just briefly. One thing I noticed is I get a hum. I get a hum out of it if I just have it on without the piezo pickup on the bridge, just the ordinary electric guitar pickup. That's what it sounds like. But with the piezo, the acoustic sound, I get this. A little bit brassy. Now, if I just take this off a little bit, hang on a second. I gotta listen for it now. I find that quite lovely. Maybe it's just me. There's a Three Stooges quote that I want to. I think they're like dressed up like I don't know if it's like Elizabethan or earlier, whatever like that. They're having some sort of period piece. The other thing about the Three Stooges, they never had their own set apparently. When they're going to make a movie about something, they build a set. So if it was something that was supposed to take place in the old days with knights in shining armor, they would have a set there. So the Three Stooges would do a short from that set. So if they're on a ship, they'd have a ship set, and if there was a saloon in the Old West, they'd have that. So there's one where they were it was a castle and so forth, and there was the one where there was the star-crossed lovers, like Romeo and Juliet type of thing. And the Three Stooges got involved, and of course they were trying to help this conflict that they had, so that two lovers could be together. And one of the Stooges objected, and Moe said, "Ain't you got no romance?" He said, "What's the matter? Ain't you got no romance?" And he slapped his face. And that stuck with me. So I brought that up because everybody say, "Well, that guitar sounds a lot like the other one." I'd say, "Ain't you got no romance?" And I don't think I've ever slapped. I've never slapped anybody's face in my whole life, except my own. But I think what it is that Moe. And Larry says something stupid, and Moe gets to slap his face. And a lot of times they have a job. They're working together. They're working someplace, and then of course doing everything wrong. And I've been in construction and crews and factory lines, back kitchen, all these jobs I used to do in my troubled youth. There'd be somebody who mess things up, and never mind. You can't slap their face.
Tom?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, this is Jim in the control room. The Three Stooges were under contract to Columbia Studios, and so is Rita Hayworth. And they were both working for Columbia Studios in the 1940s. So my great curiosity is, what would the conversation have been if the Three Stooges had gotten in line at the studio cafeteria behind Rita Hayworth? What would the conversation have been?
Yeah.
And if one of the Stooges had a 2x4 on his shoulder.
Yeah, moving, or ladder, or better yet, two Stooges on a ladder and Rita Hayworth in the middle.
Well, knowing the Three Stooges, she would have somehow magically escaped any sort of injury.
They'd have beat each
And they
other
would
up, and
just all ended up hitting themselves.
Yeah.
She would have ducked at the perfect time, stood
Right.
at the perfect time.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Well, there probably might have been a pie fight, but then, and then Larry would squat down with Moe, and then Moe would squat down too, and get him in, anyway.
Yeah, they had some woman that was an opera singer that used to catch pie in the face every now and then.
Yeah, there was that. Lucille Ball was in a Three Stooges short. It was one of her earliest roles, was in a Stooges short, because she was tall and beautiful, and they always had the tall, beautiful women because the Stooges were short, and their beauty was an acquired taste, I think. But anyway,
Beauty in their actions.
that's right.
Beauty that very few women understood.
I've always wanted to do a talk show segment, where you have people who are experts on something. Like composers, like maybe you got the people from the Iowa Composers Forum or something. We all sit around, on a table. And then rather than talking about, composing music or something like that, or some guitar festival, we talk about the Three Stooges. I think that would be really fun, Say, well, Shemp and Curly were brothers.
And Moe.
And Moe, yeah. And
But not Curly Joe.
not Curly Joe, not Larry. So,
I always thought Shemp and Moe looked an awful lot alike. Figured if they wore their hair the same, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
yeah. Well, that was also the thing about Harpo and Chico Marx. They looked very much alike. So they had, so Chico had a pink wig on and stuff like that. And, but Curly. Actually, I looked up "Hold That Lion" or "Hold the Lion" one, and that was the only one where Moe, Shemp, and Curly were in the same one together, and that was after Curly had a couple of strokes and he was trying to recover. So they were looking for somebody on a train, and there was somebody with a hat over his face and then a clothespin on his nose, and it was Curly, but he had lost a lot of weight and he had his hair had grown out because he had this sort of chestnut-colored wavy hair. And so they took the clothespin off his nose, and he was snoring loudly, and they put it back on. And what I didn't realize was that was Curly, but that was the only one where they ever appeared together. So it's important things to know. So I knew that intellectually, so because of YouTube, I looked up that scene, and there they were. So yeah, that really is Curly.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah. I'm on YouTube every week. I should play this guitar, but I really haven't played anything on this guitar particularly yet. I keep doing things like.
You said it's got a nice shimmering sound. Something that sounds
So I can do different things like. This is very responsive to the different ways I approach the strings. It's called the attack, but if I use my like straight on, if I use a side, I get textures. Okay, this is just the regular guitar without the piezo. And this is with these two pickups on. If I turn up the piezo, turn the piezo down just a little bit. Go in this pickup. What? Wow, what happened?
Got angry with you.
See, my one concern is the battery might be really old in this guitar. I got the impression when I saw this guitar that it had not been played. As I say, I checked out the serial number on it. It's a 2009. And I can see how somebody would say, oh, what a beautiful guitar. I think I'll buy that. And then they leave them. And of course, I get an occasional guitar and don't play it often. But I have it hanging up there, and I can grab it whenever I want. So we all know my problems. Okay. But I'm starting to think that maybe like I have a I think it was an Energizer. I bought the Super Duper Energizer, like $5 9-volt battery, because he has a preamp in it, so you have to unscrew the back. And my next official act, when I got this thing, I took off all the strings, and I scrubbed buffed the fingerboard with lemon oil, which is what you're supposed to do. Keeps it sort of lubricated and stuff, and nice and clean. And then I polished it up quite a bit, and I'll probably polish it some more. And I fooled around with the height of the pickups, and I put a set of somewhat heftier 11-gauge strings on it. So these are the things I do. Also, I moved the strap button. I put a little screw here to plug up the hole, but I actually drilled another hole in it. That's when I decided the guitar is mine, because otherwise it kind of hangs low, and I want the guitar to hang up like this, so I can play like this. And I know it's not cool or fashionable to hold the guitar up at this angle, but the kind of biomechanics of it work a lot better, because my hand can be kind of, it's just like, my wrist is straight, and I can reach everything. When you play down like this, down low, you can't really reach very well. And so it's cool to have your guitar down low and do a little dance with it, But you can't play very well down it. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. If you want to be cool. But, if you play up like this, you can reach big, big chords, And you can reach everything, go tappity, tappity, tap. And, so, anyway, if I get this guitar back here, excuse me, that one, I'll probably, drill a hole in the back of it and stick the strap button back there. So, anyway. Another thing about this guitar, so I'm getting this, I get a little bit of hum off of it when I don't have the piezo on. I don't know why. But okay, so the 5-position switch with only 2 pickups is, all the way to this one is the bridge, the neck humbucker, which is a nice sound. Right? The next position is the neck pickup, but in single coil mode, so it's coil splitter. A little bit different. It's a double coil, it's a single coil. Right? The middle one is both humbuckers, both double coils engaged. So it's both pickups, both in double coil mode. So everybody knows a humbucker, right? It's like, humbucker is 2 coils, because that's how we get the pickup, you see. It's like
Balance out the hum.
right, you got a magnet, and you got a copper wire around it, right? And but if you have, so you get this, this hum. So it's all these lights and the computers and around us and everything like that. So with humbuckers, you get 2 of them, and you have the polarities. Here, I'll go this way. Opposed, so they're pointing at each other. So that's what they call a humbucker, or a double coil pickup. And so this is both pickups in double coil mode, which is pretty quiet. So turn the volume off. We'll hear a little something, but not much. Of course, this one here is the this pickup, the bridge pickup in single coil mode, which is really kind of a and this one over here is, the last pickup is this one in double coil mode. Now, if I turn off all these pickups here, and then turn on just the piezo, I get this. It sounds a lot like a steel string guitar, and if I plug it into the right amplifier, do the right things with the processing of the sound, that's a pretty decent steel string acoustic guitar. If I turn everything on here. But for some reason, I don't know why, I don't notice is when I turn on the piezo pickup, the acoustic pickup here, that's one, it cancels all the hum out. Let's see. Well, the most egregious hum is the bridge pickup in single coil mode. I don't hear anything. Pretty brassy, isn't it, huh? How about this one in single coil mode? Anyway, so I don't know. I keep playing with this thing. I was going to bring another amp, but I was kind of busy fooling around with stuff today, and I have another amp which comes in two pieces. It's a head and cabinet mixture, and that's what mostly I've been playing this thing through at home. That and headphones, because I'm most inspired after 10 o'clock at night, and you know.
People don't want to listen to you practice it.
I guess not. No, when they're trying to sleep.
Cat run away?
Basically, the cat will sit in my lap while I'm trying to play classical guitar, and even banjo. But once I get electric, she leaves, and you know.
You know, I think though animals pick up different noise frequencies, so maybe it's like the hum is more egregious for the cat.
Maybe. I have some very quiet instruments, but I can't hear a hum, but she doesn't like electric, so. But yawn. But having said that, now if you look at my website, allthingsguitartom.com, on there's some photography, and one thing I was telling Mr. T here earlier about this is that I tend to wear the overalls. I have this temptation to wear overalls, and there was a guy, Ralph, who used to always come to the Uptown Bills shows that we do every month. We're not doing them every month anymore, so if you're hoping to see me at Uptown Bills, I'm not there. I'm downstairs.
Yeah, if you're looking for us live on location tonight, we aren't there.
Yeah, you got another like 4 minutes to come down to the TV station. But anyway, so but Ralph would always wear bib overalls, and he would go visit the Czech Republic and wear his bibs over there too. And I have several. I think I have 3 pairs of bib overalls that I've acquired over the years and years, you know. And I like to wear them because I think that's what people think people from Iowa are supposed to look like, you know. And so anyway, in one of the pictures, well, some of the pictures we have, there's one of my leg, I think, and I'm wearing wingtips shoes, shiny black wingtips, and faded blue pinstripe overalls. And one of my favorite looks is to have a hat like this. I don't know if you can see this, maybe a shirt with a collar like a dress shirt, and then, you know, faded blue pinstripe bib overalls and the wingtip shoes. So my wife had this, Laura, she had this inspiration about essential guitar, because my feeling is if you want to play guitar, learn what a classical guitarist knows about technique and form and execution, and what a jazz guitar player knows about chord theory and arranging stuff, you know. And that's kind of what I've endeavored to do all my life. And so essential guitar is called an overall guitar. And I've been wanting I almost came to this show wearing overalls, and I'm not promising I won't come, you know, wearing bib overalls playing classical guitar next week. I might. Promises, I know. But so I just wanted to say that this may be the new thing, overall guitar. I might devote myself to bib overalls because, you know, I played at a wedding on Sunday afternoon. It all went very well and everything. I wore a suit. And I wore my hat in a Catholic church, but nobody seemed to throw me out. Hey, Pope wears a hat, right? So anyway, did I say that out loud?
He has a car too.
Yeah. Well, I do too, but mine doesn't have a bubble on it. But anyway, but I'm thinking about devoting myself to the overalls. I'm just thinking about it and having my new thing as a teacher lecturer is be overall guitar. So anyway, that's my narrative. So anyway,
That'd probably go good with one of those straw hats where the front part of the brim is that translucent green plastic.
yeah, but now the farmers all wear the gimme hats,
Yeah.
but they get skin cancer in their ears. In the old days, and I knew this because I used to have overalls when I was a kid, and I wear a big straw hat that I
Yeah.
could get. They wore like really big straw hats.
Well, the Amishmen still do.
Yeah, but I mean, the regular Iowa dirt farmer, in the early '60s, would wear a big straw hat,
Right.
and before that, to keep the sun off your head.
But then John Deere and Pioneer started giving them baseball caps.
Yeah, you get the free baseball cap, and then you get skin cancer in your neck and your ears and stuff like that, And I had my sodbuster hat and my clompy boots and stuff and my overalls. So, anyway. I think I really like this guitar. I can't take it back. I drilled a hole in it, right? I'll be back next week. I don't know what I'll do, but we'll do something. Maybe I'll put on my overalls and play classical guitar and my wingtip shoes.